Tennessee Williams, The Glass Menagerie, Scene 4. The interior of the apartment is dark. There is a faint light in the alley. A deep-voiced bell in a church is tolling the hour of 5. Tom appears at the top of the alley. After each solemn boom of the bell in the tower, Tom shakes a little noisemaker or rattle as if to express the tiny spasm of man in contrast to the sustained power and dignity of the Almighty. This and the unsteadiness of his advance makes it evident that he has been drinking. As he climbs the first few steps of the fire escape landing, light steals up inside. Laura appears in the front room in a nightdress. Laura notices that Tom's bed is empty. Tom fishes in his pocket for his door key, removes a motley assortment of articles in the search, including a shower of movie ticket stubs and an empty bottle. At last he finds the key, but just as he is about to insert it, it slips through his fingers. He strikes a match and crouches below the door. So, Tom bitterly, one crack and it falls through. Laura opens the door. Tom, what are you doing? Looking for a door key. Where have you been all this time? I've been to the movies. All this time at the movies? There was a very long program. There was a Garbo picture and a Mickey Mouse and a travelogue and a newsreel and a preview of coming attractions. And there was an organ solo and a collection for the Milk Fund simultaneously, which ended up in a terrible fight between a fat lady and an usher. Laura, innocently, did you have to stay through everything? Well, of course. Oh, and I forgot there was a big show. The headliner on the stage show was Malvolio the magician. He performed wonderful tricks, many of them, such as pouring water back and forth between pitchers. First it turned to wine, then it turned to beer, and then it turned to whiskey. I know it was whiskey it finally turned into because he needed somebody to come up out of the audience to help him. And I came up both shows. It was Kentucky Straight Bourbon, a generous fellow. He gave souvenirs. Tom pulls from his back pocket a shimmering rainbow-colored scarf. He gave this to me. This is his magic scarf. You can have it, Laura. You can wave it over a canary cage and you can get a bowl full of goldfish. You can wave it over the goldfish bowl and they fly away canaries. But the wonderfulest trick of all was the coffin trick. We nailed him into a coffin and he got out of the coffin without removing one nail. Tom, here is a trick that would come in handy for me. Get me out of this 2x4 situation. Tom flops onto the bed and starts removing his shoes. Tom, shh. What are you shushing me for? You'll wake Mother. Goody. Pay her back for all those rise and shines. Tom lays down groaning. You know, it don't take much intelligence to get yourself into a nailed-up coffin, Laura, but who in hell ever got himself out of one without removing one nail? As if in answer, the father's grinning photograph lights up, the dims out. Immediately following, the church bell is heard striking 6. At the 6th stroke, the alarm goes off in Amanda's room, and after a few moments, we hear her calling, rise and shine, rise and shine. Laura, go tell your brother to rise and shine. Tom, sitting up slowly, I'll rise, but I won't shine. The light increases. Laura, tell your brother his coffee is ready. Laura slips into the front room. Tom, it's nearly 7. Don't make Mother nervous. Tom stares at her stupidly. Tom, speak to Mother this morning. Make up with her. Apologize. Speak to her. She won't to me. It's her that started not speaking. If you just say you're sorry, she'll start speaking. Her not speaking isn't such a tragedy. Please. Amanda calling from the kitchen. Laura, are you going to do what I asked you to do, or do I have to get dressed and go out myself? Going as soon as I get on my coat. Laura pulls on a shapeless felt hat with a nervous, jerky movement, pleadingly glancing at Tom. Laura rushes awkwardly for her coat. This coat is one of Amanda's, inaccurately made over the sleeves too short for Laura. Laura, butter and what else? Amanda entering from the kitchenette. Just butter. Tell them to charge it. Mother, they make such faces when I do that. Sticks and stones can break our bones, but the expression on Mr. Garfinkel's face won't harm us. You tell your brother his coffee is getting cold. Laura at the door. Do what I ask you, will you, Tom? Tom looks sullenly away. Amanda. Laura, go now, or just don't go at all. Going, rushing out. Second later, she cries out. Tom springs up and crosses to the door. Tom opens the door. Laura, I'm all right. I slipped, but I'm all right. Amanda peering anxiously after her. If anyone breaks a leg on those fire escape steps, the landlord ought to be sued for every cent he possesses. She shuts the door. Now she remembers she isn't speaking to Tom and returns to the other room. As Tom comes listlessly for his coffee, she turns back to him and stands rigidly facing the windows on the gloomy gray vault of the areaway. Its light on her face with its aged but childish features is cruelly sharp, satirical as a Daumier print. The music of Ave Maria is heard softly. Tom glances sheepishly but sullenly at her averted figure and slumps at his table. The coffee is scalding hot. He sips it and gasps it and spits it back into his cup. At his gasp, Amanda catches her breath and half turns. Then she catches herself and turns back to the window. Tom blows on his coffee, glancing sideways at his mother. She clears her throat. Tom clears his. He starts to rise, sinks back down again, scratches his head, clears his throat again. Amanda coughs. Tom raises his cup in both hands to blow on it, his eyes staring over the rim at it as his mother for several moments. Then he slowly sets the cup down and awkwardly and hesitantly rises from the chair. Tom, hoarsely, Mother, I apologize, Mother. Amanda draws a quick, shuddering breath. Her face works grotesquely. She breaks into childlike tears. I am sorry for what I said, for everything that I said. I didn't mean it. Amanda, sobbingly, my devotion has made me a witch, and so I make myself hateful to my children. No, you don't. I worry so much. Don't sleep. It makes me nervous. Tom, gently, I understand that. I had to put up a solitary battle with all these years. But you're my right-hand boa. Don't fall down. Don't fail. Tom, gently, I try, Mother. Amanda, with great enthusiasm, try and you will succeed. The notion makes her breathless. Why, you're just full of natural endowments. Both of my children, they're unusual children. Don't you think I know it? I am so proud, happy, and feel I have so much to be thankful for, but promise me one thing, son. What, Mother? Promise me, son, that you'll never be a drunkard. Tom turns to her, grinning. I will never be a drunkard, Mother. That's what frightened me so, that you've been drinking. Eat a bowl of Purina. No, just coffee, Mother. Shredded wheat biscuit? No, Mother, just coffee. Well, you can't put in a day's work on an empty stomach. You got 10 minutes. Don't go. Drinking too hot liquids makes cancer of the stomach. We'll put some cream in it. No, thank you. To cool it? No, thank you. I want it black. I know, but it's not good for you. We have to do all that we can. We have to do all that we can to build ourselves up. In these trying times that we live in, all that we have to cling is to each other. That's why it's so important, Tom, I sent your sister out so I could discuss something with you. And if you hadn't spoken, I would have spoken to you. Amanda sits down. Tom, gently, what is it, Mother? What is it that you want to discuss? Laura. Tom puts his cup down slowly. Legend on the screen, Laura. Music, The Glass Menagerie. Tom. Oh. Laura. Amanda, touching his sleeves. You know how Laura is. So quiet, but still waters run deep. She notices things, and and I think she broods about them. Tom looks up. A few days ago, I came in and she was crying. What about? You. Me? She has an idea that you're not happy here. Oh. What gave her that idea? Well, what gives her any idea? However, you do act strangely, and I'm not criticizing. I understand that. I know your ambitions do not lie in the warehouse like everybody in the whole wide world. You had to make sacrifices, but Tom, life is not easy. It calls for spot and endurance. There's so many things in my heart that I cannot describe to you. I never told you, but I loved your father. Tom gently, I know that, Mother. And you, when I see you taking after his way, staying out late, and well, you had been drinking that night when you were in that terrifying condition. Laura says that you hate the apartment and that you go out nights to get away from it. Is that true, Tom? Well, no. You say there's so much in your heart that you can't describe to me. That's true of me too. There's so much in my heart that I can't describe to you. So let's respect each other. But why? Why, Tom? Are you always so restless? Why do you go to the? Where do you go to nights? I go to the movies. Why do you go to the movies so much, Tom? I go to the movies because I like adventure. Adventure is something I don't have much of at work, so I go out to the movies. But Tom, you go to the movies entirely too much. I like a lot of adventure. Amanda looks baffled and hurt. As the familiar inquisition resumes, Tom becomes hard and impatient again. Amanda slips back into a querulous attitude toward him. Image on screen, the sailing vessel with Jolly Roger. Most young men find adventures in their careers. Then most young men are not employed in a warehouse. The world is full of young men employed in warehouses and offices and factories. Do all of them find adventures in their careers? They do, or they do without it. Not everybody has a craze for adventure. Man is by instinct a lover, a hunter, a fighter, and none of those instincts are given much play at the warehouse. Man is by instinct. Don't quote instinct to me. Instinct is something that people have got away from. It belongs to animals. Christian adults don't want it. What do Christian adults want then, Mother? Superior things of the mind and of the spirit. Only animals have to satisfy instincts. Surely your aims are somewhat higher than theirs, than monkeys and pigs. I reckon they're not. You're joking. However, this isn't what I wanted to discuss. Tom rising, I haven't much time. Amanda pushes his shoulders. Sit down. You want me to punch in right at the warehouse, Mother? You have 5 minutes. I want to talk to you about Laura. Screen legend, plans, and provisions. All right. What about Laura? We have to be making some plans and provisions for her. She's older than you, 2 years, and nothing has happened. She just drifts along doing nothing. Frightens me terribly how she just drifts along. I guess she's the type that people call homegirls. There's no such type, and if there is, it's a pity. That is, unless the home is hers. With a husband. What? Oh, I can see the handwriting on the wall as plain as I see the nose on my face. It's terrifying. More and more you remind me of your father. He was out all hours without explanation, then left. Goodbye. And me with a bag to hold. I saw that letter you got from the Merchant Marines. I know what you've been dreaming of. I'm not standing here blindfolded. Very well, then do it. But not until there's somebody to take your place. What do you mean? I mean that as soon as Laura has got somebody to take care of her, married, a home of her own, independent, why then you'll be free to go wherever you please, on land, on sea, wherever the way the wind blows you. But until that time, you've got to look out for your sister. I don't say me because I'm old and don't matter. I say for your sister because she's young and dependent. I put her in business college, a dismal failure. Frightened her so it made her sick in the stomach. I took her over to the Young People's League of the church, another fiasco. She spoke to nobody, nobody spoke to her. Now, all she does is fool with those pieces of glass and play those worn-out records. What kind of life is that for a girl to lead? What can I do about it? Overcome selfishness. Self is all you ever think of. Tom springs up and crosses to get his coat. It is ugly and bulky. He pulls on a cap with his earmuffs. Where is your muffler? Put your wool muffler on. Tom snatches it angrily from the closet, tosses it around his neck, and then pulls both ends tight. Tom, I haven't said what I had in mind to ask you. I'm too late to. Amanda catches Tom's arm very importunately, then shyly. Down in the warehouse, aren't there some nice young men? No. There must be some. Mother, Tom gestures. Find out one that's clean living, doesn't drink, and ask him out for sister. What? For sister, to meet, get acquainted. Tom stamping to the door. Oh my gosh. Will you? Tom opens the door. Amanda says imploringly, will you? Tom starts down the fire escape. Will you? Will you, dear? Tom calling back, yes. Amanda closes the door hesitantly and with a troubled but faintly hopeful expression. Screen image, the cover of a glamour magazine. The spotlight picks up Amanda at the phone. Ella Cartwright, this is Amanda Wingfield. How are you, honey? How is that kidney condition? Oh, Horace. Oh, you're a Christian martyr. Yes, honey, that's what you are, a Christian martyr. Well, I just now happened to notice that in my little red book that your subscription to The Companion has just run out. And I knew you wouldn't want to miss out on the wonderful serial starting in this new issue. It's by Bessie Harper, the first thing she's written since Honeymoon for Three. Wasn't that a strange and interesting story? Well, this is one even lovelier, I believe. It's a sophisticated society background. It's all about the horse you set on Long Island, and the lights fade out. Tomorrow, Scene 5.